In the world of sports and fashion, few names carry the same weight as Adidas. A company that began with a single pair of handcrafted shoes in a small German town has grown into a global empire, shaping the way athletes perform, the way celebrities influence trends, and the way consumers engage with culture. Its three stripes are instantly recognizable, a symbol of athletic excellence and streetwear dominance. Adidas is not just a brand, it's a movement. But behind the sleek marketing campaigns, multimillion-dollar athlete endorsements, and cutting-edge sneaker technology, there lies a more complicated and sometimes unsettling truth. Adidas is a brand built on competition, innovation, and resilience, yet its history is also riddled with controversy, ethical dilemmas, and a relentless pursuit of profit that often comes at the expense of its workers, the environment, and even its own moral standing. The story begins in the small German town of Herzogenaurach, where two brothers, Adi and Rudolf Dassler, ran a small shoe factory in the 1920s. Their business flourished, supplying footwear to athletes, including Olympic champions. But as World War II loomed, their relationship fractured. Some say it was over political disagreements, others claim personal betrayals. Whatever the cause, the rift was permanent. Rudolf left to start Puma, while Adi rebranded their factory under a new name, Adidas, a combination of his first and last names. The two brothers became bitter rivals, and Herzogenaurach itself was divided. Workers, families, even entire neighborhoods took sides, either for Puma or Adidas. This rivalry fueled Adidas's rise. The company became synonymous with success, outfitting legendary athletes like Jesse Owens and later dominating the World Cup by supplying boots to Germany's victorious 1954 team. But behind the scenes, Adidas was not just competing on the field. It was battling in boardrooms and factories, pushing production costs lower and global reach higher. Today, Adidas is a powerhouse, generating tens of billions in annual revenue. Its collaborations with Kanye West, Beyoncé, and Pharrell Williams have blurred the lines between sportswear and luxury fashion, making Adidas not just an athletic brand, but a cultural force. Yet, beneath this carefully curated image, there are cracks that reveal a darker truth. One of Adidas's biggest ethical concerns is its supply chain. Like many multinational corporations, Adidas relies on outsourced labor in countries where wages are low and regulations are weak. Factories in Indonesia, Cambodia, and Bangladesh produce millions of Adidas products under conditions that have repeatedly drawn criticism. Reports of excessive overtime, verbal abuse, and union suppression are disturbingly common. In some cases, workers earn just a few dollars per day, barely enough to survive, while Adidas sells their shoes for hundreds. A 2020 report revealed that workers at a Cambodian factory producing Adidas garments were forced to work overtime shifts that stretched past legal limits, all while being paid below a living wage. In Indonesia, Adidas suppliers were accused of union-busting tactics, intimidating employees who tried to organize for better conditions. Meanwhile, in Bangladesh, the company was linked to factories where women reported sexual harassment and unsafe environments. Adidas has long pledged to uphold labor rights, but critics argue that these pledges often amount to little more than public relations exercises. Perhaps the most notorious controversy surrounding Adidas came with the fall of its highly lucrative partnership with Kanye West. The Adidas Yeezy collaboration was one of the most profitable in sneaker history, with some models reselling for thousands of dollars. But as West's behavior became increasingly erratic, culminating in anti-Semitic remarks and public outbursts, Adidas faced a crisis. Cutting ties with him meant walking away from a multi-billion-dollar business. Yet, keeping him on board risked irreparable damage to the brand's reputation. When Adidas finally terminated the partnership in October 2022, the fallout was immediate. The company was left with over $1 billion worth of unsold Yeezy inventory, and its stock price tumbled. Lawsuits followed, with investors accusing Adidas of ignoring warning signs about West's behavior. The incident exposed the risks of tying a brand's identity so closely to a single individual, and the consequences of prioritizing profits over ethical considerations for too long. Beyond labor concerns and corporate scandals, Adidas's environmental impact is another pressing issue. Like many apparel giants, Adidas is a major contributor to pollution, with synthetic materials, toxic dyes, and plastic-based footwear adding to the planet's growing waste problem. The company has taken steps towards sustainability, launching initiatives to use recycled ocean plastic in its shoes and pledging to reduce carbon emissions. But critics point out that these efforts barely scratch the surface. Fast fashion remains a core part of ADIDAS's business model, encouraging constant consumption while thousands of unsold products end up discarded or incinerated. But ADIDAS's environmental challenges don't stop at production. The brand has also been criticized for greenwashing, making sustainability claims that sound impressive but lack real impact. While ADIDAS touts its use of recycled materials, the reality is that only a small percentage of its overall products come from these initiatives. A 2021 report revealed that many of the company's so-called sustainable shoes still contained virgin plastics, undermining its promises of reducing waste. Additionally, ADIDAS has been slow to implement truly circular fashion models, where shoes and apparel could be fully recycled and repurposed rather than discarded. Adding to the controversy, ADIDAS's reliance on rapid trend cycles fuels excessive consumption. Limited edition sneaker drops and high-profile collaborations create artificial scarcity, driving up demand while encouraging customers to constantly buy more. This hype culture has helped ADIDAS maintain its status as a dominant force in the sneaker industry, but it comes at the cost of sustainability. While ADIDAS claims to be moving toward a more responsible future, its business model remains deeply rooted in the fast fashion economy, one that prioritizes short-term profits over long-term environmental health. One of the most shocking revelations came in 2018, when an investigation found that ADIDAS had been destroying brand-new shoes rather than donating or recycling them. Perfectly wearable sneakers were shredded and discarded, all to maintain the illusion of scarcity and protect profit margins. ADIDAS defended itself, claiming these were isolated incidents, but for many, it was just another example of corporate greed taking precedence over social responsibility. The company's marketing, though brilliant, has also been criticized for hypocrisy. ADIDAS often presents itself as a champion of diversity and inclusion, partnering with LGBTQ+ organizations and promoting messages of equality. Yet, behind closed doors, it has faced allegations of internal discrimination. Former employees have accused the company of fostering a toxic workplace culture, where racial and gender biases persist despite public commitments to progress. In 2020, amid the global reckoning on racial injustice, ADIDAS employees staged protests, demanding the company take real action instead of performative gestures. The company promised reforms, but skepticism remains, especially when these issues have surfaced repeatedly over the years. Despite all of this,